Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with the word for today. And the word for today is discipline. The word that is translated discipline in Hebrews 12, chastening in the New King James Version, means to nurture, to teach, to train. The Lord disciplines those he loves. Those that refuse or reject that discipline are illegitimate and not sons. The overall theme of Hebrews is to move on to maturity. Chapter 12 is one of the great chapters in the Bible because it lays out the idea that God expects us to live exemplary lives and gives us the nurture, the instruction, the training, the correction, and when we need it, the punishment that we need to become fully mature adults, taking our place in the family business, in kingdom business. It dispels any idea of God being pleased with people who refuse to grow up, who refuse to take responsibility, who refuse to develop the gifting and talent that God has given them, who refuse to discover the reason that God made them, who refuse to walk in the call of God on their lives. In fact, it rather clearly states that those who refuse to grow up and play their role in the kingdom are considered to be illegitimate. Of course, in our society, this doesn't mean anything. In the culture of those who wrote this, to be illegitimate was to be a complete social outcast with no rights, with no privileges, with no inheritance. And it impacted your family line to the 10th generation. My mom used to say to me all the time, anything worth doing is worth doing well. In our current society, we have lost this concept. Yet, those who develop the discipline to do something consistently well are the ones that are rewarded the most. Being a Christian, being a real Christian, is being dedicated to living a disciplined life. Now, I'm not very disciplined. I'm not a good student. As an example, I can play several musical instruments, but none of them well. Although I know a lot about music and appreciate it, I'm not a musician. It's just because I'm undisciplined. I'm not willing to put in the work to become a musician, to play well. I played organized basketball in school, and as long as I was able to maintain a very high level of discipline, I played. It wasn't because of any athletic ability. It was because of a high level of discipline, a high level of focus, of saying no to lots of good things to focus on the one thing. When I did not keep that high level of discipline and focus, I no longer got to play. Which brings me to what I really want to say today. God expects us to move on to maturity. If we do not, we will fall away. I don't know many people who live a disciplined Christian life. The ones that I do know represent Jesus in ways that I would recognize if I didn't know they were Christians. They're unique. They represent Jesus in completely different ways. But the one thing they have in common is a disciplined approach to their walk with Jesus. They do the basics. They have a church life. They have a word life. They have a prayer life. They have a worship life. They speak the word. They share with Jesus. They share Jesus with people they come in contact with consistently, daily, as a lifestyle. Now, I know that I could be a lot more disciplined in my walk with Jesus. I know that I have to be careful not to get legalistic about it because legalism kills while the Spirit gives life. Yet what I'm being challenged with today is to live a more disciplined walk with Jesus, to grow and never stop growing, to learn and never stop learning, to say no to a lot of good things so I can focus on the one thing, to not be lazy, to choose with each decision to be a son, a huios, legitimate, taught, trained, corrected, focused, growing, learning, so as to represent Jesus accurately to those around me, so that when people come in contact with me, they know that I am a son without me having to tell them. Disciplined, skillful, trained, fully developed, pressed towards the high call of Christ Jesus on you today. The word for today is discipline. God bless. Check in tomorrow.